Lighting makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it? Say you just got your new camera and you want to start making YouTube videos like this, or maybe you want to go out and film some interviews for maybe a little low budget project, or maybe just a personal project. You want to go film friends and family or whatever the case may be, but you don't have $1,000 to spend on a big lighting setup with a C-stand and light and softbox and sandbag and all that kind of stuff. But you know you want something to be able to use as a key light to be able to control your light throughout the interview or YouTube video. So you don't have to rely on natural light or window, because let's face it, natural light, window light changes throughout the day. So in this video, I'm going to put together a simple and affordable key light setup that'll set you back only about 150 bucks. So let's get into it. Okay, if you notice anything different, it's because I unplugged the light that was behind the computer screen, because that is the light that we're going to use for this video. This is the Aputure F7. I'm not going to go into too many details about the light in this video. If you want to know more details about that light, I've made a whole video about it, and I'll leave a link to the video up there and description and all that kind of stuff. But for the sake of this video, all I need to know is that it's a super bright light, really high quality color reproduction that comes out of this light, and it can be powered in multiple different ways: battery, USB, D-tap, all that good stuff. So it's a super versatile light that we're going to use for this setup. And we're going to use the ball mount that came with the light, super high quality ball mount, and we're definitely going to use that so we can mount it onto the next piece, which is this light stand. They're like 20-25 bucks for a pair, and you're definitely going to need 2 of these for this setup. And for all these light stands, they have these little 1/4-20 threaded adapters on the top that you can unscrew and throw these things off, and it has these little 1/4-20 threads that are on the top. So with the ball mount that you got with the Aputure F7, you're gonna have this little 3/8 to 1/4-20 adapter that you're gonna thread into the bottom of the ball mount, and you're just gonna thread it to the top of this light stand like so. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna need is this 5-in-1 reflector, and it kind of folds out, but you're not gonna actually use the reflector. And unzip it, and on the inside you have this handy dandy diffusion panel, and that's what we're going to use to soften the light coming out from this light. Put it in front of this light, and it'll help diffuse the light and create a little bit bigger of a light source that will help create softer light and it'll look more pleasing on your subject, if soft light is what you're going for in the first place. So let's go ahead and get this set up. We're going to put this just off to the camera, to my left, your right, and we'll turn this light off when we get it all set up, and then we can show you what it actually looks like. Okay, let's check this out real quick. Sorry in advance, I'm on the pocket camera right here, so super shaky. Yeah, so this is kind of the setup that I'll be seeing. Big light right now is on. This is what we just set up. We'll go behind in just a second, but you can kind of see that big diffusion panel is pretty much the same size as the, might even be a little bit bigger as the light dome here, but obviously light dome's doing a lot more magic with diffusing the light. But it's trying to pretty much give the same effect. And we'll go around and I'll show you what we got over here. So super simple, we just got the light right here, little ball mount on here attached to the light stand. Pretty simple. What I did do is I have this diffusion panel set up definitely higher than this light, just so when the light is coming up over here, I can make sure that I'm catching all the light and it's not spilling over into the background. So yeah, that's the setup right there. This little clip right here, these are super handy to have no matter what you're doing in videography. Always good to have these little things. They're super cheap, and I mean you can pick them up like a 5 or 6 pack for like $7, so they're really cheap. But yeah, so that's what that is. But you can see here now that tiny little light source from the F7 is now being diffused over this diffusion panel right here, and it's creating a much bigger light source, which will in turn make much more softer of a light source, kind of like what this light dome is doing here. And what that does is just helps create soft light. Obviously, if you want hard light, you just remove that, and yeah, that's the good look you're going for. And this will also help create a nice catch light in your eye or in your talent's eye when you're ever doing an interview. So yeah, super simple setup. Now let's get back onto the seat, and we'll turn the C200 back on, and we'll start recording. Turn this light off and just use this light so we can see exactly what it looks like when just using this as a key light. So yeah, let's do this. Okay, now here we are. This is with the F7 with a diffusion panel in front of it acting as the key light for me right now. To give you an idea of my exposure settings on my camera, I have the ND at 2 stops, I'm at f1.8 and ISO 400, so that just kind of give you an idea of the exposure I have set up on my C200. And you can see that the light definitely here is really soft. It definitely works as a key light. The only other light that I have on in the room right now is the there's like a little overhead ceiling light that we put in that just for the room, and that just kind of brings up the exposure of the overall room. Luckily for me, it's bicolor or multicolored, so I set it up to the coolest setting to just kind of give me the look that I want. So yeah, that definitely works. If this is too much of contrast for you, but you wanted to have this kind of contrasty look, you can definitely get, you know, one of these little foam boards, you know, just at any art supply store or anything. These just little science fair project boards is what I call them. You can use these, and you can definitely use this to bounce the light off depending on the angle and all that kind of stuff. You can see as I'm moving it around, it kind of fills in these shadows a little bit more. That way it'll just add a little bit more bounce, and it's pretty subtle, but you know, it'll help you out with the look that you're going for, you know, filling on this side of your face. I personally like this kind of moodier, contrasty look. So yeah, this is a great little setup for, you know, if you're just getting started out with a little YouTube studio. I used a very similar setup to this before I got the F7. I had another little LED panel that's kind of died on me recently, but I used that with a little diffusion panel in front of it to act as my softbox, and it worked out great. And you definitely get a nice soft look with the diffusion panel in front of it. And if you want to go for more of a hard light source, you can definitely do that. Just take the diffusion panel away. Definitely a harder light, but you know, if that's the look you're going for, you know, angle the light a certain way, and you can get that little Rembrandt kind of triangle Rembrandt look going on. And yeah, I mean, it's a super versatile light. Put this back here because I like the soft light better. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. Just setting up a quick little affordable key light setup that won't set you back too much money. And it looks pretty good. I think it looks really good. Nice soft light, very pleasing. And yeah, super acceptable results from just a tiny little light. But if you found this useful, informative, anything like that, definitely hit that thumbs up button. Consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. And leave a comment below. Let me know if you use the F7 as your YouTube light, or if you've ever used it as a key light in a pinch or anything. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.